Good morning, fine people. I originally made this channel to go over and read books, articles, whatever, and just to get them in audio format when they don't have an audio format available. Um, and I kind of have not been doing that. But here's a great candidate for one, and I figured might as well go ahead and get this thing out there. If you'd like any others, uh, read over, we'll be happy to oblige. Just leave them in the comments. And I'll probably start adding some more over time here. But yeah, this one I definitely wanted to get up as soon as possible. It's from an article that was just posted this morning. Today is the 21st of December 2021. So, uh, the headline reads, Right-wing groups opposed to government aid cashed in while collecting PPP loans. Prager University Foundation, the Ayn Rand Institute, and Americans for Tax Reform saw gains while on government aid in 2020, according to new research. Imagine that. So, and this article is by Akela Lacey. I hope I am pronouncing that right. Anyhow, let's get into the meat and potatoes. So it begins with a quote. Government spending is a huge problem, the conservative video site PragerU tweeted in September 2019. We must reinvest in Americans by giving them a hand up, not handouts. The group wrote in another tweet that November that no wait, Oh, that November. Okay, sorry, my brain is a little small. The group wrote in another tweet that November with a video of then Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Ben Carson discussing rehabilitation for incarcerated people titled Americans Need a Hand Up, Not Handouts. But last year, right-wing groups that have long opposed the concepts of increased government spending on handouts were the recipients of more than 1.7 million in Paycheck Protection Program loans while seeing significant increases in contributions or net assets, according to new research from the government watchdog group Accountable.us. Last April, the Small Business Administration launched the $349 billion emergency loan program to help small businesses struggling at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. PPP loans to Prager University Foundation, the Ayn Rand Institute, and Americans for Tax Reform Foundation were all made public last summer, but recently released 990 forms for 2020 show that saw each groups that's how it's written. All right. Show that each groups saw significant increases in contributions or net revenue at the same time they received hundreds of thousands of dollars in government subsidies. Right-wing groups that wave their finger at federal relief spending for local governments and working families never seem to mind when it benefits them, Kyle Herrig, president of Accountable.us, said in a statement. The same people who've made careers out of bashing government programs were among the first in line for taxpayer-funded assistance during the COVID-19 crisis. Imagine that. Aid intended for struggling mom-and-pop businesses. Their hypocrisy is trumped only by their shamelessness. If these groups were serious about their own purported principles, they'd return that money to the taxpayers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't expect them to have principles anytime soon. Anyway, at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic last year, not long before Prager University Foundation received a PPP loan, Dennis Prager was already at work downplaying the severity of the severity? I don't know the right way to say that word. Downplaying the severity of the virus. Videos posted throughout the pandemic by the conservative video site PragerU, which Prager co-founded in 2011, alleged that there was an orchestrated attack against the experimental use of hydroxychloroquine, I think is how you say that, and the death toll from COVID-19 has been inflated. The group's YouTube page has 2.9 million subscribers, and it said its videos were viewed more than 1 billion times in 2019. Yeah, that would be curious to unpack right there of why that is, because I'm pretty sure it's like a college campaign where they just fucking play the videos over and over and over for our budding young minds that have too much going on to stop and question it. Anywho, Prager University Foundation, which hosts PragerU, received more than $704,000 in PPP loans the same year that it saw a 55% or 1. No, $12.3 million increase in contributions from 2019 and a $15 million increase in net worth over the same period. Incredible. Just a little annotation. The that's crazy. They see a 55% increase in contributions around the time that the ownership class is getting record profits, even though there's not an increase in the cost to produce. Isn't that wild? Crazy, man. Anyway, um, the nonprofit group founded in 2009 has long criticized the concept of government spending and handouts. In October, PragerU published a video titled The Bankrupting of America, which criticized former President Donald Trump's approval of a massive increase in government spending during the pandemic, and that's in quotes, by the way, as well as an additional spending by President Joe Biden. The Ayn Rand Institute, I should be reading quotes, shouldn't I? I'm a terrible person. Anyway, the Ayn Rand Institute received more than $713,000 in PPP loans last spring. The group's mission is to create a culture whose guiding principles are reason, rational self-interest, individualism, and laissez-faire capitalism. A culture in which individuals are free to pursue their own happiness, provided they have access to a perpetual motion machine. That's a little dig at Rand. If you're not familiar, would recommend getting a deep dive on that just to see how fucking how invested into lunacy her writings were. Anyway, last May, ARI posted a blog explaining why it was okay to accept government aid despite Rand's well-known position against such programs. The CARES Act has created a moral dilemma for those Americans who value freedom, they wrote. The pandemic has cost them their jobs, their savings, their businesses, and they blame a significant part of this loss on the government. But because they oppose government handouts, they worried that accepting CARES money would be a breach of integrity. At the Ayn Rand Institute, we are dedicated to philosophic principle. And because we will take any relief money offered to us. We will take it unapologetically because the principle here is justice. Haha, very funny. Anyway, just wanted to annotate a bit more in that regard. It's ironic. They're talking about, oh, it's cost them job saving businesses. Yeah. It's like we could have gotten paid to stay home, like plenty. We could have got the handouts and it would have prevented these things. Kind of funny. Many other countries could do it. I'd imagine we would not have such a difficult time um, organizing that, but whatever. ARI reported $7.6 million in contributions last year, a 19% increase from 2019. The group reported $1.2 million in gains from last year, up from losses of $790,000 in 2019. Americans for Tax Reform Foundation, the nonprofit wing of Americans for Tax Reform, received more than $290,000 in PPP relief last spring. The group said that the group said the loan helped the company avoid layoffs, writing that it is a legally and financially separate research and educational 501(c)(3) that was badly hurt by the government shutdown, end quote. The quote began at was badly hurt, by the way. I keep not doing that. I need to get in that habit. Sorry, first video. ATRF's net assets increased last year by 36% or $4.6 million, cutting its 2019 deficit of $17.5 million to $12.9 million. Americans for Tax Reform and its foundation were founded in 1985 by Republican Grover Norquist. Norquist? Who knows how to say that? Grover, I'll refer to him as, at former President Ronald Reagan's request to oppose all tax increases. Woohoo! Despite its stated aims, billions of dollars in Paycheck Protection Program loans went to wealthy business owners and not the mom and pop shops they were designed to support. Who saw that coming? Several such small businesses were denied outright or received less money than they asked for. The PPP program was also accused of shutting out black small business owners, and I am very happy there are links to those two because they might be good to check out as well. Yeah, it's a NBC article, so you know what's actually going on is probably much worse than what they're covering here. And here we got an ABC News one. Nice. Only a small percentage of borrower data is available to the public. This was posted last year. Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, two more things to check out. Um, maybe next time. I will see y'all around. Thanks for checking this one out. And yeah, feel free to weigh in any sort of discussion, any sort of suggestion for future articles, whatever, in the comments. Thank y'all and take care.